think about a consultant or a contractor, right? Like, and think about an employer that needs tasks performed, right? Wouldn't it be more efficient for the employer to just hire contractors, hire consultants to do the task, or to hire you on a task on a per task basis, right? Like, oh, I only need to send one email campaign. I only need to, refactor one code base, refactor one class. I'm going to, auction this work out to one person. He's going to do the job and then he's going to leave. And that's it, right? Like, and you have your network of contractors that do all this job, all this task for you, right? So the imagine employers all of a sudden change to per task, right? Like, because it sounds more efficient, right? Like, oh, I only have to pay for the job that gets done, no slacking around. I don't pay for any downtime, only for minutes worked, hours worked. Employers love that phrase. Yeah, it sounds more efficient, but then what happens if, and in theory, no contractor is beholden to any one employer. You can all contract in and out as you see fit. You can refuse to take a task. You can say, like, no, I don't want to do that task, Mr. Employer. I'm not interested. Well, imagine that happens. Imagine that you as an employer, you need a task done. And you reach one of your contractors, your trustworthy contractors, and you tell them, like, hey, I have this task for you. And they tell you, like, no, I don't have time in my week for this task that you're assigning to me. I'm not interested. I'm getting paid. Somebody else is paying me more for the same amount of tasks. And all of a sudden, the employer finds that, the company, right, like this business finds that they can't find anybody to perform this task, and it's urgent. Well, now they're going to have to pay more for it. It's going to be a whole problem. Like, maybe they're going to need to bring in somebody else new. So now they have onboarding costs, right? So you can see that what started out as more efficient in theory, just paying per task and not paying for any downtime, it ends up being very inconvenient. And in the long term, it ends up being a lot less efficient. Why? Because if you just paid somebody, if you just bit the bullet as a company, as an employer, and paid somebody to be available whenever work needed to be done, whenever work needs to be done, the person that you hired wouldn't be able to say no, because you hire them to, hey, I'm paying you so that when there's work to be done, you do the work. And so that's exactly the situation that modern employers and modern employees, that the modern work arrangement find themselves in. This is baked into the system. This is unavoidable. This is what we live every day at our jobs. Sometimes there's nothing to do, right? Sometimes, this is why busy work was invented, because employers do bite the bullet in that they understand that they have to pay for downtime, but they don't like this to be open, right? Like they don't like the arrangement to be that, oh, we know, like we let you know we let you do nothing while there's no work, right? So they're always kind of like coming up with work that needs to be done precisely because of this. But the point is that this is the system, right? And because we're actually paid to be available, we're paid primarily to be available, not just to perform tasks. This is where job stacking come in. This is why we don't need to work 16-hour days. This is why we won't burn out, because what we do is we take advantage of the idle times between jobs. We take advantage of the fact that employers don't have an optimized pipeline to deliver exactly 8 hours of work to everybody each day. Each day, every day. There's lots of idle time. There's lots of downtime. So you're not actually working 8 hours. And as a matter of fact, surveys, I'm going to get to this a little bit later, surveys and polls, even before remote work, show that people were only productive around 3 hours. And the rest was, spent reading newspaper, reading Facebook, watching YouTube videos. So job stacking is about stop wasting your time doing that. And you can just like get another job on top of it, on top of the one you already have. So that you exploit the idle times, and you only work around 8 hours, or I've worked 3 jobs, 5 jobs, 7 jobs. You still work around 8 hours, even with all those jobs, or even less than 8 hours. And so you what you're doing is you're multiplying your compensation while keeping your hours worked the same.